everyone, my name is Mitz. Here we are back of Higurashi When They Cry. So just looking over these two notes once more again, just to make sure everything got squared in my head. The police actually already know somehow that I'm Keiichi and just the rest of them, Shion, Tomataki, Takano, all broke into the store warehouse. Which because Keiichi was stupid and flipped on a light switch, or maybe just because the police are literally everywhere in the festival grounds and just saw someone break in, was like, nah, let those crazy kids have it. We see them steal anything or have anything, having a bag or duffel bag, then we'll get them later. They're not causing any harm and all of that. Then, most likely it's probably just the light switch and someone noticed that, but they didn't want to investigate until later. And then cooperating with them, the police's account of like seeing all four of them together, walking from the direction of the storehouse, they probably understood that. And without even Keiichi mentioning it, it seems like the police are now going to be trying to, like, looking out for Rika as well. And Keiichi's now on his way to, like, make sure she's alright. Oh boyo. Along with Sonozaki being a crime syndicate, like, maybe that's, like, a good reason as to why Takano was killed, at least in this, I guess, pathway. Literally, every single word I can think of just to call this section as I'm all confounded to my head. After hanging up on Shion, I searched for Rika-chan's phone number on my school's contact list. There it is. My fingers trembled with urgency, and I failed multiple times to put in the simple 5-digit number. Wait, no, it's not that. I was gonna go into my head just thinking oh, it's 555, 5555. But I think it's just the American version, just random numbers, like not using the area code or anything like that. I wonder how those are structured in Japan now. Keiichi, are you calling someone at this hour? It's late, and it's being rude to another person. It's not being rude if I want them to be safe and alive, okay? It's rude if I don't want them to be safe, okay? That doesn't matter right now. I shouted angrily at my mother, listening to the dial tone. Pick up, come on, pick up. The time was 11 p.m. It certainly wasn't early. I think it's kind of late for some people, though. Some people have to sleep. Don't go to sleep at 3 a.m. as usual. It was essentially the middle of the night. Well, I say that, but I literally just fell asleep before, so don't worry about it. Had Rika-chan already gone to bed? She's diligent. Her phone would be ringing constantly, though, so... Wait, would she get back up for me? Rika-chan didn't pick up. She didn't pick up. She didn't pick up? Maybe she just happened to miss it. Maybe her bed was just too far away from the phone. The sound of a phone ringing gets clearer and clearer the longer you go on sleeping. Then... the bathroom? Yeah, she must be taking a bath. Like, what kind... like, who's taking care of her, honestly? Like, is it, like, something similar to, like, you know, Sadako situation? Like an uncle or aunt or family relative? I mean, obviously, she's at the last Furude, like, line. So, like, she must be taking care of someone else? Oh, don't tell me she's living by her own self. Don't tell me that. If that was the case, then even if she heard the phone, she wouldn't be able to pick up. It was a little late to be taking a bath, but it was possible she normally took baths right before going to bed. I'll wait 30 minutes, then try calling again. Time to get that stopwatch out. Even though I was thinking that, I called her house over and over again. I kept calling. Dang, if only we had answering machines. Well, I'm pretty sure answering machines, like, go out, like, come to play, like, years from now, but still. Over and over again and again, I kept on calling her, but she didn't pick up even once. I think I kept trying for about 30 minutes. Yet she wasn't picking up. Were my phone calls so persistent that she had gotten scared picking up the receiver? No, that couldn't possibly be it. There was no point doing this any longer. No, stay up the whole night and keep calling. The best thing to do would be to go there in person. Do you even know where she lives? I don't know if she lives by the shrine, though. Where was Rika-chan's house, though? Boop, boop, boop. Reina, where does she live? Shit, I never asked her where she lived. Do you even know where, like, where Mion lived before? And, like, when you know where Reina lives, well, you know the general direction of where her, like, Mion's house is, but I don't think you know a single thing about Sadako or Rika. Her residence was written there in the contact list, but it was just an address, mostly numbers, so I couldn't tell where it was just by reading it. Is there a map or something in here? Rika Furude. Her last name was Furude. It was a bit of an odd last name, so it might be easy to find. Thinking that, I rummaged through the drawer with a phone book, but I can only find things like ticket menus and phone numbers for public establishments. Shit. I tore one thing after another out of the drawer, but I didn't come up with any clues as to where Rika-chan's house was. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. Calm down. At this point, I just want to know. Well, I don't think. Too. Like, I was gonna say middle name, but I don't know if like a lot of. I don't actually know if any other. Huh. Wow, I feel ignorant now. Do other people have middle names? If you don't know, then just ask. Ask someone who does know. That's it. Reina's gotta know. I looked at Reina's phone number in the contact list. Reina, wake up! Wake up! Reina Ryugu. There she was. Her parents. Hello? This is Ryugu. It was a voice of a grumpy-sounding man. Must have been Reina's father. I'm calling in the middle of the night. I need to be polite. I'm sorry for calling so late at night. This is Maebara. Is there any chance Reina-san is around? Reina's taking a bath. Oh, she's done? Reina. There's a friend of yours on the phone. Oh, right. Reina Ryugu was her name. But you just said her name was pronounced the same. My god. They're pronounced the same, though. Okay. I gotten so used to calling her... Am I getting things wrong again? Don't gaslight me, please. Don't. I gotten so used to calling her Reina that hearing her real name caught me a little off guard. Hello? This is Reina. Oh, it's me, Keiichi. Sorry for calling so late. Huh? Keiichi-kun? What do you need a time like this? Like this? Well, actually, I wanted to know where Rika-chan's house is. She seemed a little appalled that I called her or something like that at this hour. However, she spoke her next words seriously, and she caught on to how urgent my need was. Okay. Sure. You know the assembly hall on the grounds of the Furry Shrine? There's a 2-story shack used for storage behind it. That's where she lives. Oh. I couldn't immediately visualize the place, but as long as I knew she lived in the shrine grounds, I just had to take a look around. Got it. Thanks. Sorry again for calling so late. Apologize to your dad for me too, would you? Okay, but Keiichi-kun, why do you want to know where Rika-chan lives? No reason. Hang up. She asked in an unusually sharp way, halting me before I could hang up the phone. I hesitated for a moment about whether to tell her. He was killed because I told him. Keiichi-kun? If you're still listening, could you answer me? Why are you asking Rika-chan lives at a time like this? I missed her. Reina affected her usual tone, but beneath her words lay a certain tension, like she intuitively sensed something was going on. What will you do, Keiichi? If it's Reina, can't I tell her? He was killed because he found out. Revealed everything, so he was killed. Keiichi-kun? Reina's being serious. Please answer me. She asked me once again in a tone so forceful I couldn't imagine her ever using it normally. I was taken aback by her vigor. Reina was Rika-chan's friend too. She had the right to be concerned about Rika-chan disappearing. If I told Reina, then... If only for a moment. I could drive away my horrifying fears. Reina? Well, I can't exactly tell you why, but... Yes? Her tone was seriousness itself. Seriousness incarnate. Just in that tone, I can feel her saying, no matter what you say, Keiichi-kun, I'll believe you. A subtle sense of security gave me the courage to reveal the truth. I have a feeling that Rika-chan is in danger. You mean like a premonition, or do you have some reason to believe she's in danger? I really didn't have time to go back and forth with Reina about this, so I think listening to her calm voice soothed my pointless impatience. I don't have much reason, but... Yet I still hesitated. I had told Rika-chan that we had snuck into the ritual storehouse. Well, pretty much everyone at this point already knows. I don't know why, though. The mayor, to whom she had confessed before that, had already disappeared. So it was possible Rika-chan also... I didn't know how to explain it to Reina. While I was tongue-tied, Reina spoke up. Sorry for asking something so weird. I thought about it, and it isn't like you need to be sure. Reina laughed a little, seeming a bit absent-minded. I wasn't exactly in the mood to laugh, so this time I was dumbfounded. Reina continued in a cheerful, yet still purposeful voice. You're worried about a friend. I don't think you need a reason to go and check on them. You know, if Rika-chan was asleep and you ended up waking her up. If that was why you did it, then none of us would get mad. Reina, thank you. Okay then, Keiichi-kun, just one thing. You called Rika-chan's house, right? Then you just couldn't get through, so that's why you want me to ask where her house is? Logical intuition, Yeah, that's right. I must have called her for over 10 minutes. She could just be sleeping and not have noticed. Rika-chan's house is really small. She would definitely hear the phone ringing even if she was asleep. Seko-chan is there too, so there's no way neither of them would notice. Hold the phone. Huh? Sadako, you mean she's living with Rika-chan? What about her uncle? Wait, they're living under the same roof? That makes so much sense now, actually. Why they're so close, then? Because they're living in close quarters. Yeah, you didn't know? Well, we could talk about that later. Anyway, if you called that much and no one answered, then something's definitely wrong. Rain understood the situation was normal far faster than I could have ever imagined her to. Well, yeah, she knows, like, Lily, their living situation and their circumstances, so, it kind of makes it more concerning for her on her end. It made her seem dependable. However, the fact that Reina had acknowledged this also meant that the best case possibility of it all just being the result of my own needless fears went out the window. Or, at the same time, they decided to go for a walk. In the middle of the night. After, two people have gone missing. Or when I know everyone knows that, two bodies are found, so, yeah. Just walking around in the middle of the night when two people were found dead after they were walking home. Late at night. Yeah. Yeah. I'll go to Rika-chan's house right now. Will you come with me? I can show you the way. Sounds good. Let's meet up at the same place as usual. I'll be waiting for you. No, wait! I'll come get you at your house. You just wait there. And tell your family you're coming with me to Rika-chan's house, okay? Will that be okay? We might lose time if you come here. My next thought is if you actually tell your parents exactly what's going on, I don't think they'll want you to be by yourself and go there alone, so, what is your good reasoning for not having your parents around? Did you call Michan too? She's really dependable at times like these. I thought we agreed to give her some space, though. If you haven't, then I'll give her a call. My thoughts froze for a moment. Shion had just told me to be careful on Mion during our phone conversation a little while ago. The Sonozaki main house was somehow lurking behind the surface of the annual freak deaths. Then the current heir to the family, Mion, wouldn't be uninvolved. So wouldn't that mean she wasn't uninvolved in what happened this year to Takano-san and Toмотaki-san, and also the mayor's disappearance? I'm pretty sure you must have a great reason for why to get rid of the mayor then. All that. Whether it's just for, like, the crime syndicate way or the political reasons and all that. Or, like, political interpersonal reasons, Okay, bye. I'll be right over. Wait for me. That's all Reina said before hurriedly hanging up. Now wasn't the time to be doubting Mion. I need to make sure Rika-chan was safe. I gotta change and grab the key to my bike. Keiichi, where are you going, young man? Parents just, like, upstairs in their room. Okay, well, Keiichi, like, would just go to bed normally. I figured things would go more smoothly if we met up in the place we usually do before school. Reina wouldn't need to come all the way to my house. My parents would probably objected if I told them I was leaving, so I creeped out without a word. That night was unusually warm and disagreeably humid. Also, just realized this now. You have like 3 exact doors, assuming that a gateway is to the main door house, and the door next to it goes to another room, and the door next to it is all that. What is that room right next to the left of the main door supposed to go to? Like an outside storage closet, and the next is for the studio. I know the house is big and all that, but like, oh, no wonder people think you're rich if like you have all this strange architecture going on. And again, you still commit, like, you literally ordered someone to build the house for you here. The night was unusually warm and disagreeably humid. She said that Rika-chan and Sadako lived together, right? Huh? Then it wasn't only Rika-chan. Sadako wasn't there either? Oh, you only now just realized this. Ah. Realizing what them living together really meant caused my thoughts to immediately take a turn for the worse. Look, Rika was the target, but Sadako was the one truly demoned away. No, they're both demoned away now. There's 3 people missing. It can't be. Sadako is... She's got nothing to do with this. Unless Rika told her. Then the oral curse is happening like a game of telephone. The very second you utter the words and it comes into contact with someone's ear holes and gets processed into their brain, they've been marked, targeted by the demons. Even if there was a reason for Rika-chan to disappear, there shouldn't be one for Sadako. Keiichi-kun, I told you to wait at home! Slap! Reina was really fast. She approached me on her bike at amazing speed. Her breath was ragged, painting a clear picture of just how hurriedly she'd been going. Hey, Reina! Let's get going! Keiichi-kun, I thought I told you to wait at your house. But why? Her expression was all business. Was she mad? It came out of the blue and I faltered for a moment. Well, I just figured it would be faster to meet up here. Keiichi-kun, don't you get it? She sounded clearly angry. What? I've never seen Reina like this before. Do I get it? What's the problem? She seemed to notice she was scaring me, took a couple deep breaths, then continued admonishing me, but her expression didn't soften at all. Keiichi-kun, the whole village is in uproar now the elder disappeared, right? Yeah. Now you told me that Rika-chan and Sadako-chan aren't where they're supposed to be, right? Yeah. That about sums it up. You need to be more careful. Do you have any idea how dangerous it is to be standing out here alone in the middle of the night? I began to understand where Reina's anger was coming from. You told your family to be going to Rika-chan's house with me, didn't you? So that in the worst case scenario, if you and I were to disappear, he would know when and where we did. Reina was perfectly level-headed in this emergency situation. Wait, so you decided not to... Wait, did you tell your parents? Or you're like, no, Keiichi is more dependable than me. He could tell his parents. Ever since the night of the Wanton Nagashi, every night someone had died or disappeared. Well, at least she's more calm and level-headed here instead of, the other quote-unquote route, path, whatever word you want to describe for that chapter. On the night itself, Takano-san and Tomataki-san met strange ends. On the next night, the elder vanished. Now, on the next night after that, Rika-chan and Sadako were nowhere to be found. I had been thinking of anyone but myself, but I think at this point you weren't even thinking about yourself here. Don't be that way. It wasn't enough to say that Hinamizawa was a little weird at the moment. It was, in fact, extremely strange. A demonic aura has engulfed everyone. Reina had even anticipated her own disappearances, had told me to tell my family where I was going. I was embarrassed by my own carelessness, and the need to be embarrassed made me afraid of the night. Sorry, I didn't tell them yet. Okay, let's go tell them together. With Reina beside me, I wheeled back towards my house. Huh. The moon seemed strangely high in the sky. A sky that was uselessly vast and cold. So no matter what, it would never seem to me like a dream. This cruel fact had already confronted me. On such a crazy night, Reina had been unimaginably dependable. Hinamizawa's metamorphosis, enough to make Reina caution me against carelessness, was to me the most fearsome thing of all. The moon seemed strangely high in the sky. We met up with Mia on the way, and she, of course, was unsure whether to believe me about Rika-chan and Sadako's disappearance. Kei-chan, are you serious? I'm gonna get really mad this is a joke. I don't do prank calls in the middle of the night. I do it at the exact right before you go to bed to make it even worse. Mia was clearly displeased. If this were a joke, it wasn't even very funny. I understood how indiscreet my words were. Ever since the day before yesterday, someone had either died or vanished every night. Rika-chan and Sadako disappearing after all that was something you just couldn't say, even in jest. That's actually gonna be even more freaky if like this route just someone like at least one person goes missing or something like that every single night. Oh boy. Michan, if it really is a joke, then don't get mad. Smile. Be a joke after all. We need to go make sure that's a joke or not, though. You're right. Sorry for getting upset. However indiscreet a joke it may have been, if we learned that our friends were safe, it would end up as nothing more than a funny story then. Having been warned about that by Reina, Mion gave a dry smile, the tension she felt loosening a bit. She mounted her bicycle as well. Our 3 bicycles' lights flashed down the pitch-black roads. There was some of the only illumination outside. Oh, you have flashlights tethered. Okay, I see. Moon. Actually, it's a nice background. Kei-chan, why did you suddenly decide to call and ask about Rika-chan's house at a time like this? Mion asked me the same thing that I had trouble explaining to Reina. Reina, it's happening again. God, no. Would it be weird to call it a premonition? I couldn't quite tell because it was dark, but I thought I could see Mion smiling very ambiguously. I definitely understood that she wasn't convinced, though, despite the darkness. Well, I had this bad dream while I was snoozing. I couldn't get out of my head. So, did Rika-chan get kidnapped in the dream? Well, it was more of a vague feeling sort of thing. If Rika-chan had answered the phone, I would have called you and Rain after that. Lies smoothly babbled on my mouth, makeshift though they were. I was lying because I thought telling them I was connected to Shion would be like suddenly admitting we'd stolen to the ritual storehouse together that night. Mion didn't press me any further. I don't know whether that convinced her. Or maybe she figured that making sure Rika-chan and Sadako were safe would be faster than making an issue of it. I felt relieved, and immediately a little guilty. Mion hadn't really been acting any differently these past few days, but I'm still trying to distance myself from her for some reason. It was only because I would have heard from Shion and Oshi-san that she was the successor to come to some kind of super extravagant gang family. No. Was I just trying to force myself to forget? Don't do that, Keiichi Maebara. Wasn't it Mion who was the first to ask about the night of Wanton Nagashi? In such a harsh tone at that? Have I ever forgotten the terror I felt? At the time, Mion looked like someone different from the Mion I knew. When I think about that Mion, then Shion and Oishi-san's descriptions of Mion make a tiny bit more sense. That's it, isn't it? If it wasn't for how she acted that day, then I wouldn't be feeling this way towards her now. What on earth was going on with her back then? I was conveniently thinking only of everything she had done after that, while disregarding the very first thing, the thing I should have been looking at most, wasn't I? Mia was pedaling her bicycle in front of me, her long hair fluttering in the wind. No matter how long I looked at her back, never gave me answers to any of my questions. We went all the way to the stone steps leading up to the shrine grounds. Of course, we weren't going to want to haul our bikes up there, so we parked them beside the staircase instead. So, this is the Furude Shrine. Everybody comes and goes as they please, as if it were a park, but this place is actually a grand estate owned by the Furude family. So the entire shrine is private property, and you lease it out for the festival every year. Nice. It really makes you feel the passage of time. 10 or 20 years ago, it would have looked exactly the same. Then wouldn't that mean that the Furry family is really old? The three fam, the three families Keiichi get the premonition in your head of the scrapbook notes. With a history going back for generations? Yeah, they're gone. That's odd. She said something clearly disquieting, so I ran over to her. What's wrong, Reina? Rika-chan and Sadako-chan always leave their bicycles here. Okay, so they went on a little midnight stroll then. I see. See? They're gone. I took a look around. Indeed, there were no other bicycles aside from the one we'd taken to get here. Couldn't they have parked them somewhere else? Could they have brought them up the stairs? Those girls couldn't do that, Keiichi-kun. Just she said, I can imagine Rika-chan and Sadako lugging all their bikes all the way up here. We hadn't yet knocked on Rika-chan's door, but reality was already sparking some ideas that weren't what you'd call good. Maybe they were just parked into some trees and we hadn't noticed them. I refuse to believe that not being able to find their bikes here was proof that they disappeared. It just means they're not here then. Or someone really wanted their bikes for some reason. Let's go. The only way to be sure is to check their house. Ding dong. We all nodded and dashed up the stone steps. We passed through the red arch and came out into the shrine grounds, which is covered in neat gravel. The red arch. Wasn't the big main entrance arch white though? I'm guessing you went through somewhere else. It was so quiet here, as though the wanted Nagashi festival had never happened. So where's the house I live in? Maybe that conveniently house-shaped thing to the right of the shrine right there. Or it's something else. Over here. Come with me. Rand took the lead and sprinted off. We went towards the assembly hall behind the shrine, then looped around behind it. In the darkness of the night, we found a small, prefab two-story shack that looked like a warehouse. Huh. What does it hang in the doorframe? It's just like a block of cheese. The lights are off. Are they sleeping? Let's knock. Reina and Mia near the shack, which didn't really look like a place people would live. And it's such a beautiful shrine, so I figured they'd live in an equally beautiful house. It was far from what I expected. Rika-chan! Sadako-chan! Are you there? Reina shouted up towards the second floor. Her voice was restrained at first, but it steadily grew louder. No answer. In fact, there wasn't any sort of activity in the house at all. Oh, okay, I'm gonna grab a rock. Stand aside, make sure they're still in there. They might be sleeping. Uh-huh. Let's wake them up. Mion banged the shutter with both hands. The loud sounds echoed into our surroundings. They wouldn't have noticed this much noise, along with the whole town. They would turn on the light from their room, fling open the windows, and yell, "What time do you think it is?" That, however, wasn't happening. There was absolutely no response. Don't worry, they were very heavy sleepers. Mion stopped slamming her fist in the shutter. The sun's sounds fell over us. The silence aroused terrible thoughts in us. I could feel the blood draining from my face. Okay, if they weren't, like, I guess, whisked away anywhere like that, and they, at least in their home, and their bikes aren't here, then did the two of them decide to, like, oh, Rika-chan said, like, she was gonna handle the situation, and if she asked Sadako for help, then not to do that, and then, oh boy, wherever they went to, where she thought would help with Keiichi and Chiana, they're there. It's locked. I wonder if we can get inside somehow. Reina showed no sense of stopping. Well, my first thought is there's a ladder right there, but it's not high enough to reach to another window. Maybe one, like the first floor windows probably are locked, with the second floor. She looked like she would admit they weren't there until we went inside and saw for ourselves. Their refusal to give in gave me strength. The second story windows wouldn't be locked. Nice, you're thinking like a thief would. I'll give them a try. Kei-chan, a ladder. I don't think that was gonna... Well, I guess if he jumped and, like, latched onto the end of the scaffolding in front of the house, then that's fine. Me and brought over a ladder was sitting against the house. The footing was a little unstable for me to be climbing it, but Mion held the ladder firmly in place for me. I hadn't climbed too many ladders. Many experience with them exposed, I climbed one step at a time, and tried to open each window on the second floor. Mi-chan, I'm gonna go check the main house just to be sure, okay? Main house? I'll be right back. Why are they living here and not in the main house? Rena darted away. What? A main house? It's the Fruity family's actual house. After her parents passed away, I think it's been left like that. Oh, right. Like it's a weird crime scene? Okay. Rika-chan's parents, they passed away, huh? At that point, I recalled something else. Wasn't Sadako living here too? Sadako's also an orphan. Her parents fell from a cliff because of Oyashiro-sama's curse, yeah. Then her older brother, Satoshi-kun, he disappeared. Satoshi? I've heard the name before. I remembered. He was the one who disappeared last year because of the curse. I think you're all just like, I'm saying all this out in the open right now after all this. But like, I guess it's because it's an urgent situation, but at the same time, feels weird. Ever since then, Sadako and Rika-chan have been living in the shack. Neither of them have any family, but at least they're together. They help each other out. Reina said main house, didn't she? Wait, they actually live alone? Wouldn't it be easier to live there? Well, I guess the elders in this the whole town, like, you know, help with Rika based on how, I guess they, you know, those many different scenes of, like, you know, an elder, like, you know, like, clenching prayer beads and all that, and just, like, you know, like, she was really important. So I guess they could help as well. The curtains were drawn, so I couldn't get a good look inside to see, but two young girls living together seemed like a pretty tough life. I think she tried that at first. She said it was hard, though, because it reminded her of her parents. I had no idea. I feel really bad for them. They're normally so cheerful at school that I never even realized an atom of this. Rika-chan and Sadako-chan, they have it hard, huh? Sympathy. Ah. She's cursed. Okay! Alright. Huh? Suddenly Mion said something in such a low voice that sounded like she was really cursing someone, and I didn't let it slide. I turned the ladder, faced her, and asked again. Mion, what did you just say? I said she's cursed. Mion, still holding to the ladder, put her head out to look me in the eyes. As soon as our eyes met, an absolute zero jolt of electricity surged through my body. Mion's eyes clouded over. Within them boiled and bubbled a stew of chaos. Hello again. They rolled around and around like a raging sea, and bubbles floated to the surface. I had at some point been trapped in this ladder, like being cornered on a dead-end street. Mion, why are you making that face? I also love that detail, just Mion you couldn't see her face, and the screen only showed half of it. Even the background, that was nice. I tend to follow that up with, you're going too far with this joke, and give her a forced smile. However, on such uneven footing as I was, the only thing that came out of my mouth was a hoarse groan as I desperately struggled to not let nausea overwhelm me. Reina! Sadako Hojo. She's been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. Mion answers, with a response to something I never asked, as replying to somebody else's question. Like, are you saying that almost everyone slowly feels like they are being cursed, I guess? I mean, Reina brought up, like, she felt she was cursed at the time. So it's not just those two. Like, absolutely nothing different happened for, like, Sadako, like, this time than, yeah. Then, like, she felt this curse before. I guess the thing diverged, I guess. The only people who fell from the park observation platform were her parents. Only her parents, who treated her like dirt, died that day. She was the only one to survive. Oh, so someone actually was there. Then she was sent to live with her aunt, who treated her cruelly, and the aunt was killed on the night of Watanayashi by some deviant, who beat her to death so violently her brains were everywhere, and her head an entirely different shape by the end of it. Oh. Then Satoshi-kun, who always protected her. He suddenly disappeared on her birthday. Okay, doesn't make any sense at all then of him, if they were that close. Okay. Someone made him disappear, even though he wasn't abusing her. The police judged him to have run away from home, but Satoshi-kun wasn't the kind of person who would do that. He was always earnest. He would never ask for anyone else's help. He'd always drag himself through everything with hard work alone. So then, what made him suddenly do the baseball thingy? He worked so hard, nearly ground his bones into dust, all for his one and only little sister, and yet someone made him disappear. She was the only thing he lived for, and yet someone made him disappear. Poor Satoshi-kun. He was never rewarded, that Satoshi-kun. How ungrateful that child is. She's cursed. All who get near her suffer the same fate. The curse kills them, or the curse makes them disappear. She cannot have any relief. She cannot have any relief. I was kind of expecting, like, something like this to happen. That's why I was putting all sympathy onto her. But man, still, God. It's probably Sadako's fault that Rika-chan disappeared too. It has to be. 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 It has to. Mia was mumbling words over and over that were no longer coherent. Can you let me down now from this ladder? Her shoulders were trembling so hard I could feel it through the ladder. Almost lost my footing, which made me realize just how far away the ground really was. Calm down, Mion. I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't sure if she even heard me. Mion rocked back and forth. The rocking and trembling was becoming even more violent. Help me. The ladder, it's falling. Help me. Help! Just then I heard the sound of many people running towards us. Oh, hey! Over here! And I very nearly said, help me, outright. 4 or 5 adults, led by Reina, ran over here with flashlights. Oh, we got the cavalry. Keiichi-kun, Mi-chan, sorry it took so long. I borrowed the key. The key? Oh, okay, well, it makes sense. There's a spare key into the main house. Oh, nice one. Since all the windows and doors are perfectly sealed. Back to normal, I see. Okay. I was getting worried. When I heard Mion talking like nothing had just happened, I again felt a chill run through me. The person currently holding the ladder in place, it was definitely Mion. Don't go back to Mion Shion demon stuff, okay? Please. It was the real Mion Sonozaki. Then the person muttered to themselves just a few seconds ago. Who was that? Some, little, unconscious, bad thoughts in her brain, of course. The person who was mumbling out terrible things, like curses. Who was that? I jumped down from the ladder as if running away, before Mion turned into that person who wasn't Mion a second time. They all tried a few different keys on the key rings and tried to open the big shutter on the first floor. Oh, for the shutter instead of the door? Okay. Mika-chan's house used to be a disaster shelter for the town council, so the key to the shutter is still kept in the mayor's house. Oh. It's Rika-chan and Sadako's private residence now, though. Well, this is on Rika-chan's property anyway. Nobody complains about it. Mion gave me a smile as she said that. I, however, can only return her gaze with a ghast expression. Mion was acting all too normal now. That only contrasted all the more sharply with her earlier un-Mion-like creepiness. Okay, just keep 6-foot distance apart. Bang. Bam, clatter, 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 bang. The shutter opened for the first time in a very long while. Oh, so... Okay, there's only a key for the shutter but not the door. Okay, makes sense. Reina located the light switch and wasted no time going inside. I followed her in. Rika-chan! Sadako-chan! If you're here, say something! We climbed a narrow staircase. It had looked like nothing more than a warehouse, but now that I was inside, I could feel how lived in it was, as a person's home. I'm assuming, like, there's a lot of small details of, like, of all that. How long have they been living in this place, though? Some of the scent of the two of them filled the place. Okay. This is definitely where Rika-chan and Sadako lived. Oh, nice. Okay, this is new. The first floor doubled as a town assembly warehouse. The second floor was a space entirely for living. Oh, the second floor then. Okay. Just like a one-room apartment, past the kitchen was a living room taking up about 150 square feet. Dressers, cupboards, and the like were packed into the space. In the corner there was a huge pile of clothes that appeared to have just been taken in from drying outside. The central living room was a fold-up table, and on it were small containers with things like soy sauce and salad dressing. The sense of a frugal lifestyle drifted from all of it. It was strange that they weren't here in the middle of the night like this. The adults, climbing the stairs one at a time, began to make a fuss and talk amongst themselves. So? Not here? Yeah, they're not here. It's definitely weird. The village had just been thrown to chaos yesterday because of the mayor's disappearance. Now Rika's disappearance. How they... Why exactly go after Rika if the whole I guess the whole curse or Yashir Sama thing is in play, besides, literally telling someone about it? Is there a bigger reason besides that why those two are targeted then? Then today, even Rika-chan and Sadako had... Were they out playing somewhere together? That can't be. Their bicycles aren't here, though. Where they have gone so late at night? Have they just not come back yet? Where'd they go? They both put forth various possibilities, and the house immediately devolved into a state of confusion. Eventually, Mion settled them down. Where would they usually go on free time stuff? I don't want to believe it, but the mayor, Kimiyoshi, disappeared yesterday. We can't say this is unrelated. The adult's faces paled at Mion's declaration. Mine and Reina's did as well. Let's see. They could have gone nearby for some tea or something, then accidentally fell asleep. Whoever invited them might just not be able to wake them up at all, too. Well, let's eliminate that possibility first. Makino-san, please go around to the houses near the stream. Kataro-san, go look near Ojaga Lake. Okamura-san, you... He promptly gave directions to the villagers. The adults followed them without hesitation, despite their age. We'll remain here and call up anyone we can think of on the phone. Okay, everyone, you have your orders. Got it. The adults all roar in reply, and pound back down the stairs below. Well, this is certainly a fun little hangout session we're all having here together, inside someone's house when they're not here. Wow, Michan, you're not only chairperson of school, but Hinamizawa too. No time for jokes. Oh, that's not a joke. Hey, step aside. This old man is using the phone. Okay. You just have the whole phone book memorized by this point. Mion grinned proudly, took the receiver, and got started. Reina gave Mion a trusting look, considering her dependable for doing all this. My feelings, though, were a little more complicated, since her leadership seemed to be affirming the Sonozaki family successor impression that Shion and Oishi-san had given me. Okay, no, stop right there, Keiichi Maebara. None of that matters right now. It kind of does, but, keep telling yourself that. The most important thing is to make sure Rika-chan and Sadako are safe. Let's see. Couldn't there be a clue hinting at where they might have gone somewhere in this room? Like a post-it note or a sticky note, or like some note. Maybe, oh my gosh, they had the same idea you did, Keiichi. They put a note onto their fridge. Oh, that's where they said they were going. But why'd they leave a note for other people to find? If they think they're coming back. Unless, like, maybe a calendar? That's, I guess, the next best thing, I guess. Still, though, I wouldn't know what to look for anyway. If we tore the whole place apart and figured out what was different from before, we might be able to speculate, but... When was the last time anyone was in their house? There's nothing strange about this room, and there were no clues in sight. That's what you think. What if when Sadako comes back and Rika's still missing, she notices, oh my gosh, that soap bottle is moved slightly to the right. That means someone washed their hands. They killed her! In the first place, I'd never been here before. There's no way for me to know what was different if I didn't know how the room usually looked. Hey, don't give up, Keiichi Maebara. Keiichi, goddammit. Stop thinking and start looking. For something. In search of something, I tried pulling open the dresser drawers and opened the windows. I didn't uncover anything meaningful, though. Reina, also unable to stand around doing nothing, was looking around the room like I was. Mion was loudly shouting into the phone, "Where is she?" Reina? I don't think you'll find Rika-chan by opening the refrigerator or the cabinet underneath the sink. Look, people hide in the strangest of places when they're scared, okay? Never hurts. I just thought they might be hiding. As we were searching, it got noisy outside. Villagers are quickly assembling here, having heard the commotion. I'm just realizing now that the very second that Rika does, like, no one finds her by the end of this, even Sadako, that people are gonna ask Keiichi a lot of questions. And the police are obviously gonna be questioning him as well. So, have fun. Have fun revealing parts of your plan that you and Shion made and other parts you didn't. Villagers were quickly assembling here, having heard the commotion. Of course, a lot of them were probably people Mion had called. I'll go tell everyone what's going on. The police will be here sooner or later, too. We need to explain the situation to Oishi. Mion began to descend the stairs. We followed her out to the front of the house. There were already around 10 adults there, and all of them looked uneasy. I suddenly noticed that the old people from the shrine were here as well, and they were praying for Rika-chan's safety, rubbing their prayer beads. Yeah, this had gone bad. This wasn't just a problem between friends anymore. Mion-san, is it true that Rika-chan and Sadako-chan aren't anywhere to be found? The villagers all formed a ring about Mion, swarming her. Tell us, they start shaking her. Mion raised her right hand, as the sound seemed to calm down. First, let's check every house according to the town council's notification division and see if they're visiting anyone. After all, they could be fast asleep at someone's house and totally unaware that we're looking for them. It'd definitely be hard for someone to wake up Rika-chan if she had eaten a good full meal and fallen asleep like a kitten afterwards. What, is that every time, like, you have lunch? Oh, how nice it would be if that were the case. Oh, how nice. I don't want to think about this. This is possible something bad has happened. Her face grew remarkably more grim, and a wave of sounds washed over the adults. We should divide up the work, too. We'll go around to all the places we went last night while looking for the mayor. We'll go look around the damn construction site as best we can. You guys go search around the school. Right. Let's get a move on. Come on, let's go. All of you were up all night looking for the mayor. I know you're all low in sleep, but please, do your best. Got it! With that as their signal, they dealt scatter in every direction. I figured I should scatter somewhere as well. I started walking steadily in the direction that no one else had gone in. I was getting farther and farther from people. I didn't feel scared or anything, though. Some were made to disappear. She and I should be first. It would have been perfectly normal for me to be scared of the dark. Okay, we're all alone now. Have fun. Someone's gonna attack you. Every time someone goes, bees alone in this kind of situation, something bad happens, they see something messed up. However, I didn't feel that way. Why was that? It's because tonight, someone already disappeared. Man, morbid sense of relief, I feel. So nobody else would disappear tonight. Then what about Sadako? It would take some time before I, exhausted as I was, would feel guilt that caused my own selfish sense of relief. Oh boy. The piano. It's going nuts.